Madison High's principal defends his school after an off-campus fatal stabbing. SAPD identifies 2 suspects killed by police, including a 17-year-old minor. And another inmate is mistakenly released from Bexar County Jail. This is your Express Briefing podcast for Wednesday, March 6th. Subscribe to this and other free content at expressnews.com/podcasts. And get each day's top news and sports headlines delivered to your inbox at expressnews.com/newsletters. Following Express News coverage of an off-campus fight Friday that ended with a student facing murder charges, Monday, the principal of James Madison High School sent an email to parents defending his campus. Principal Steve Zimmerman wrote that, quote, "I am writing this letter in response to the news article that ran in the Express News, in which Madison High School was portrayed in a manner that was not very complimentary. And that, quote, my hope is that if anything good may come from this event, it is that our students will become more aware of what they say and do on social media and the impact their choices can have upon themselves as well as others." Police say a 16-year-old Madison student fatally stabbed 18-year-old Madison graduate Caitlin Castilleja early Friday outside the home of the younger girl, who is not being identified because she is a juvenile. And the 16-year-old is also accused of stabbing 18-year-old Madison alumna Vivian Foster, who survived. A police report states that the 2 18-year-olds told officers they'd gone to the younger girl's house to fight. Castilleja and the 16-year-old had been feuding over social media before the incident. The now deceased 18-year-old's Twitter account shows she posted taunting and confrontational tweets and retweeted at least one video of herself in a fight at school. Castilleja's online presence also revealed a number of aggressive posts on social media, including ones in which she boasts of engaging in physical fights. Friday, 2 Madison students told the Express News the school had a culture of physical fights, a characterization Principal Zimmerman disputed in his letter, noting that administrators have handled fights quickly and fairly. Zimmerman has served as Madison's principal for 2 years and is now inviting parents to contact him via email or phone with questions, comments, or concerns. Authorities have identified 2 suspects shot and killed by San Antonio police after the pair shot at officers in separate incidents roughly 12 hours apart. The first suspect, accused of shooting at officers Monday in his family's Northwest Side home after his parents called to report a disturbance, has been identified as 27-year-old Daniel Moncada II. Moncada has a lengthy criminal record and has been arrested 9 times in Bexar County dating back to 2010 when he was 18 years old. The second suspect, accused of shooting at police Monday afternoon following an armed robbery, has been identified as 17-year-old Jeremy Ponce Jr. Records show Ponce was convicted in November of a Class A misdemeanor for failure to identify a fugitive or intentionally giving false information and was sentenced to 32 days in jail. While the San Antonio Police Department has yet to reveal the identities of the officers involved in Monday's shootings, SAPD Chief William McManus says per standard procedures for officer-involved shootings, all 3 have been placed on administrative duty during internal investigations. And another inmate at the Bexar County Jail has been mistakenly released, marking the 5th botched release or transfer of an inmate already this year. 39-year-old William Castillo was booked into the Adult Detention Center at 9 a.m. Sunday on a drug possession charge, and the following morning at about 3:30 a.m., booking staff at the Justice Intake Center discovered he was not present during a head count. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office says Castillo slipped in the line of those being released at some point during his stay at the jail and was released negligently by BCSO booking staff. Once staff were alerted to his absence, deputies began searching, and Castillo was found and apprehended about 2 miles away from the jail at about 6:20 a.m. Monday morning. Castillo now faces a second-degree felony charge of escape from a correctional institution. Monday's inmate escape occurred at the new $33 million Justice Intake and Assessment Annex, which opened in the jail's South Tower in December. Individuals are now booked and appear before a magistrate for a bail hearing there, instead of the city's Frank D. Wing Municipal Court building. While the city accounts for between 60 and 65% of arrests in the county, it has refused to move its booking operations to the annex because it objects to some of its design concepts. The escape follows recent troubles at the jail, including a newly released report by the Texas Commission on Jail Standards that found the facility out of compliance of state standards in a recent inspection. Among other violations, the inspection found jail staff routinely exceeded time limits on paperwork and violated standards for observing inmates, including those with mental disabilities or potentially suicidal inmates who must be observed every 15 minutes. After being notified about the failed inspection, last week Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar cited the need for swift and decisive management and announced administrative changes, promoting Captain Avery Walker to Deputy Chief and elevating his role from acting to full-time jail administrator. Salazar also forced the retirement of his second-in-command and fired another high-ranking deputy as part of the changes in administration. And that's your daily San Antonio Express briefing for Wednesday, March 6th. Subscribe to this and other free content at expressnews.com/podcasts.